Oh, and I would say it's recording. Okay, okay.
Awesome, awesome.
Let's talk about it.
Hey, Jeff Vibes, it's great to have you in here. Thank you for joining us today.
Hey, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
What time is it over there?
Yeah.
So it's 10 p.m. right now.
10 p.m. Oh, okay, so it's like roughly like like an 11-hour difference. That's crazy. It's about 11 a.m. over here. So
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah.
and appreciate you staying up late for this. We appreciate you.
Yeah, and then
Nah,
for, you know what I'm
don't worry,
saying,
bro.
for everybody, where are you from exactly?
So basically, I'm from Russia, but to be exact, I'm from small town. It's about like 200,000 people here. It's called. I don't even know how to like properly pronounce it in English, honestly, because I've never thought about it. But it's like a Balakova or something like that. Balakova. I don't know.
How do you say it in Russian?
Yep. Balakova.
Oh, okay, cool.
I think it should be like pretty similar.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I'm gonna definitely look it up later and check out some pictures of it. Maybe we'll throw some on screen or something.
That'd be
like
cool.
Oh, bro, be careful with the pictures.
Be careful. Okay, that makes sense. Like, what's the temperature like over there? You know what I'm saying? We're here in Colorado. People are always like, "Oh, it must be always snowing and stuff like that." When reality is, it's sunny probably like half the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people here have the same impression of Russia, where it's like, "Oh, it always must be snowing. Like, it's
so
always freezing
cold.
there."
Yeah.
Is it? Is that true?
It actually is. Right now, it actually is. Over
Yeah.
like over my place in my region, yes.
Uh-huh.
We had a conversation with Jay just the other day, and it's about like minus 25 maybe degrees, something like that.
Yeah, I was
Maybe
posting my
20,
story. I was
20,
like, it's so
25, something
cold.
like that.
I was like, it was -4 here, and I was like, oh shit, it's so cold. And then
He's like, "Oh, beach day."
yeah, Jeff Ives is like, yeah, well, it's -25 over here. I was like, right, man, I can't be saying nothing anymore, bro. I can't be saying nothing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, it's so good. We're used to it.
It's probably good weather for studio. Good studio weather, right? Gives you a reason to be inside.
I would say it's good weather for two things. Like in my personal life, it's studio, of course, making music, and the second is skiing because I'm a huge fan of skiing.
Yeah.
That's
I was gonna
awesome.
ask. I was like, you like the winter, like sports stuff like that?
Yeah, I love skiing. I don't like snowboarding personally, but I'm a huge fan of skiing.
That's awesome.
You live in a good place for it then?
I guess so. I mean, Russia has like a way better, like bigger mountains and stuff. But over here, it's not really like mountains. It's just hills.
Okay.
I'd say, but I don't know. It's still great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, good to hear it.
So, with your music, I'm curious, what's the best compliment you've ever received? Because I'm a fan of your music personally, you know what I'm saying? So that's something I'm like, I always love to hear other people's perspectives on people's music.
Oh, I have never thought about it. I think the best compliment that I got, maybe I think I've gotten like a comment. I don't know like on which social platform, but oh no, I get I have like a one like a funny one, and I have like a more serious one.
Okay, awesome.
Which one do you want first?
I'll take both.
Let's go. I want the funny one first.
Okay, so one guy on a TikTok said that if I were a chick, I would throw you my Brian penis. I was thinking like it was video about like me singing guitar cover or something, just playing guitar, singing, like emotional, like lyrical type of like person on screen. And yeah, and so the serious one is I think somebody said that one of my songs was exactly in the right time of their life. They like she or he I don't remember. She or he was like going through some stuff in life, and my song was like exactly in time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's like what you hope for. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome on both sides, both the funny and the more heartwarming.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, the first one was like, I was like, damn, man, like people are really saying stuff like that.
That's a pretty good compliment.
Yeah, it's like, all right, I'll take that. You know.
Yeah. But no, there was like the only one comment like that. I've never like got like.
Not a regular occurrence.
No, for sure no. But it was hella funny. It was hella funny.
That's great.
No, that's funny, bro. So circling back on the music. So real quick, I just wanted to ask, so is English your second language or your first language?
No, so English is my second language, and
Okay.
Russian obviously is
Yeah,
my first
I just wanted to make sure. I just want to make sure ahead of because you do speak like very good English. So you look like the type of guy that could speak like 8 different languages. Like I'm not gonna lie, just by off the looks of you, you look like one of those guys who's like, oh yeah, I know French, I know English, I got Spanish, I got some
So
Russian.
I was half expecting
that's
to be like, English
crazy.
is my third
Yeah,
word.
I know.
Like,
Like I don't know why part of me thought that, but because you are just a smart guy, so it's like you never know. But with that being said, with your music, so you record your music like a lot of it in English and stuff like that. I would say, do you really enjoy like English culture and do you like the audience here, or what's the reasoning for what I'm saying recording your music mainly in English? I think you've posted some things where you sang a little bit in your first language, but I just was curious about that.
You said that most of my lyrics in English, but honestly, I have never written a single song in Russian. I don't know. As
Really?
music is just something from yeah. Nah, I don't even know how to. I mean,
that's so
I
interesting.
don't know. If I try something, it would be. I don't even know how would it be because I've never tried it. So yeah, coming back to the question, when I was a kid, English as a subject in the school, it was always something that I did pretty well, and it was always easy for me, and I was kind of like ahead of other like people in the class because I
Mhm.
don't know, and also since I've been like into music since I was a kid, also, and like these two things just combined together, and I don't know, just a few years ago, I switched like my music taste more like towards English music. I don't know why, it just happened naturally, I guess. So yeah, I guess that's like two reasons.
That's
That's super
awesome.
interesting.
It,
Like,
no, like you
just
said,
the way that played out for you.
that was a great question. I was like, as soon as you asked it, I was like, "Ooh, I'm ready for this answer."
Well,
Like,
yeah, just because, yeah, because typically that's not like the route you would see.
Mhm,
You know what I'm saying? Normally they're like, okay, well, I made music in Russian first, and I got a little bit of influence from American
mhm.
culture. I listened to these artists. Hey, I just went for it. Now I make my music hit in English. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, just hearing that story is super interesting, bro. And I don't know, it's super unique.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So, the music that you listen to,
Yeah.
do you listen to music mostly in English, or do you listen to music, Russian music as well?
So most of my music is in English. I have few artists, Russian artists that I listen to, maybe like two, maybe three. Yeah, and I absolutely love like a Russian pop music, 2000-ish to 2000-ish, like 2010-ish, this like time
Okay.
period. I absolutely love this Russian music. I don't know, bro. It's just something in my genes, that I love. But I don't know, bro. I can listen like pop music, like Russian pop music from 2000 like 5, and then I can like next song I can play like Young Thug. It's just
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Free thug, man. Free him.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Nah.
Man, that's great that you can have that versatility and like in your listening and um yeah, I'm gonna have to go check out some Russian pop music from the
Yeah,
2000s, maybe
if you have like a
2010 era.
playlist, send it our way.
Yeah, I'm
You know what
very
I'm saying?
curious.
I would be interested in
I
checking
have
out.
I have a playlist, but I think it's private on Spotify. It's just
Oh,
for
okay,
my like friends.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, just yeah, in general, most of my music that I listen to is in English.
Nice, nice. So a question I had, I guess this one is more personal, like towards you, like with like as a person. But
Yeah. Okay.
so with your music, I've listened to a good amount of it, and even last night I went through and I listened to kind of all my favorites. Like "Party's Over," that's probably my
Such a
favorite
good
like
song.
song you've made. It's really good. There's something so special about it, and the vibe is just unmatched. Like I can name similarities, but I couldn't pin like another song to that. It's good. It's good. I'm telling you. But
Thank you,
with
thank you, thank you.
the topics of your music are mainly I hear about relationships, love, heartbreak, stuff like that.
Yes.
What advice would you give your younger self or say other people that are younger that are getting into like their early relationships? Things that you like have talked about in your music and ideas and express that you just like wish you knew or you want somebody else to know.
Okay. It's also a tough one, but
I had a feeling I was like, this is a hard one to
Yeah.
ask, but I know.
Yeah. No, it's all good, but it just is okay. Well, what advice I would give younger myself or somebody? So I would say that like don't be afraid of just getting into a relationship if you really want to, if you really feel like that, or just don't be afraid in like to connect with someone. I mean, there is a lot of songs, and some of my songs for sure, that like when people talking about breakup, how hard it is, like when there is a lot of like like toxicity, is it a word, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like there's a lot of toxicity and topic in this relationship, all the stuff, but I would still say that don't be afraid of just open up to the person, even if it's not going to work out. Then it's like it's still experience. I mean, it's life. You just, in the end of the day, everything is okay, so just don't be afraid to do that.
Yeah, agreed. Everything happens for a reason, right? Like
Yeah.
sometimes the experience is just a lesson learned of how to treat the next person in your life better, stuff like that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's the
Yes.
main thing I learned, and like with stuff like that. So I'm glad you know what I'm saying? I know Poetic believes that too. It's
Mhm.
like we all see eye to eye on that. That's cool.
Also, I would say you might not even know like what type of person you are unless like until you get
Right.
into a relationship and you learn something about yourself that you have never like thought about, you
Mhm.
know
Yeah.
so it's like it can be like really really helpful for you as well.
Nah, 100%.
I agree with you completely. Bringing it back a little bit to Parties Over, as well
Yeah.
as you and Synthetic just released another song as well, correct?
Yes.
How did you and Synthetic meet up? How did you guys link up?
Oh, that's actually a crazy story because so I've hit him up when I had only about like 10 followers. I almost just created a Instagram account, and
Hmm.
I think I was just going through hashtags or something, and so I hit him up. I say something about his music. I really loved his music, and I still love his music. So yeah, and we just connected at that time, and oh, it was like almost 5 years ago. So we have
Wow,
never met each other in person. We always been on the phone, on the phone calls, just talking, messaging, and making music together. Oh, sorry, making
that's
music
awesome.
together. So yeah, that's basically the story.
That's awesome. And so he's based out of the UK?
Yes, he's in Nottingham.
Okay, wow. So this is like kind of different, but I'll bring it back around. You'll see how I connect it.
Okay.
Here in America, there's like, stories of like, sanctions on Russia and stuff like that right now. Has that made it difficult to maybe travel outside the country and link up with people, or has that restricted anywhere you're able to upload your music, anything like that? Or has
Uh,
that not been too much of a, problem for that you've ran into?
that's actually a huge topic that you brought because there's a lot of pain for
Mhm.
Russian artists now. So yeah, it really is. So first of all, like, am I able to visit, for example, United Kingdom?
Mhm.
I am, but it's really difficult. But I still am. As for United States, like the United States and Russia, it's like way different story because
Mhm.
you can just visit United States now. It's extremely difficult. For example, I can just visit United Kingdom if I want to. For example, I'm taking vacation, right? I want to spend time with Synthetic, let's say, or like
Uh-huh.
just visit the country, and it's still possible, and I can do that. But as for United States, no, you have to go to United States, for example, like for studying, for work. You have to have like a reasonable, thing
Interesting.
why you have
Otherwise,
to visit.
so if you didn't have a reason, like you were saying, would they just deny you?
Yeah, for example, if you applying for like a travel visa,
Yeah.
right? If you're just applying for a travel visa, 80%, I think, or 70% that you got rejected,
Oh,
that you
wow.
will got rejected. Just because like you can get it if, for example, your child is studying there and you want to visit them,
Uh-huh.
something like that. Just by myself, I can do that.
Wow. That's very interesting. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing that perspective. Because yeah, over here, like it's we might be able to like see what the news says or something like that, but
Yeah.
you never really know as somebody living in the country, what that experience is. So
Yeah, true. All we really hear is kind of what the news says and like
Mhm.
what people's opinions are, like that get posted about the
Mhm.
news. It's kind of all they show us here in the United States.
And so I love as someone who's bilingual, you being able to share that.
Yeah,
Really
because
appreciate that.
I didn't know all that, to be completely honest.
I just want to like tell a little more about that, because it just really it's getting like harder and harder. So for example, as for music, like we were talking about like visiting and stuff, but as for music, for example, DistroKid is not able for Russians right now. Spotify is not able for Russians right now. Even like a freaking Linktree doesn't open
What?
without like,
Linktree?
yeah,
That's crazy.
without VPN. I can
Wow.
TikTok. So my TikToks. So my friend, he is studying in United States in Omaha. Do you know this city?
Omaha,
Omaha, yeah,
Nebraska?
that's not too far from
Yes,
us.
yes,
Yeah, yeah,
Nebraska.
that's
That's not too
it's
far.
So
like a day drive.
yeah. So he is studying there, and he posts my TikToks, because the thing is, after all this like things happen with our country, TikTok decided to like separate Russian markets, like Russian TikToks, like area, and all like whole other world, right?
Wow,
So
So
they only see each other.
that's crazy.
yeah, so
That's probably super limiting, right then? If you were to only post on the Russian one, on the Russian
yes,
market.
so yes, so you have to, for example, if I post TikTok just from my like Russian based account, my
Mhm.
TikTok will not go outside of like Russian TikTok like
Wow,
area, you know. So so
that's
for example, you guys are not gonna see that TikTok, for example.
wow.
It's like over here now, it's like a lot of restrictions, a lot of like difficulties that you have to just go through and find a way. Also, the biggest one, sorry if I talk too much about this, because
No,
it's just
I don't.
really it just really pain.
I
It
really
just really
appreciate you
painful.
sharing this.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah. So about the like financial thing, for example, Visa and MasterCard is not available right here now. So for example, I have a card, I have a like Visa card, right?
Mhm.
By Russian bank, but now I can pay, for example, I don't know, let's say something like Linktree subscription, for example, whatever service that is outside of Russia, I can't pay for that. So I have to have like card that emitted by outside of Russia bank, for example, like just country nearby Russia, you know. And
Wow,
that's so hard. Also, for example, if you hit up
sounds
like a
difficult.
playlist curator on Spotify, right, and he charged and it's okay,
Mhm.
and you can even use PayPal is not available. You can pay for that type of stuff for anything.
Wow,
It's just
that's what I
so,
I didn't know it expanded to all of that. That's wow.
nah, guys, it's really crazy. It's really, I don't know, it breaks my heart. It's just
Yeah,
really hard.
that's very difficult. Has there been any like for example, you said DistroKid, hasn't been available to you. Is there any
Yeah.
companies that are enabling you to, companies or services, or what are some solutions you've been able to find that
Yeah.
have kind of helped? Because again, like I've been really enjoying your music, your content, without even really fully recognizing the extent of all it took, for it to just be there for me to enjoy, right?
Yeah.
So, are there payment processors? Are there, services that you are able to use that? What are the best way for people to, kind of support you through this? And what are some solutions that you found to be able to, still share your music, share your content?
Yes, so as for distributors, a lot of distributors has left our market as well, just like DistroKid, but we still have few that work for us. For example, have you ever heard about Warner PM?
Warner PM.
I haven't heard of it.
I don't think
It,
so.
it's actually like a pretty big one, but
Okay.
I know that Americans don't really use it as much
Mhm.
as like people in from different parts of world. So basically, I can use them, for example, to upload my music to streaming platforms, but I can't even get my money that comes to me in dollars. So for example, Russian platforms pay the distributor like in Russian currency, and I can't get that. But as for like dollars, I I can get it. It's just like a like virtual number on your dashboard, and that's all.
That's so strange.
That is weird.
I wonder if there's going to be groups that, come in and find a way to, hey, for a 1% fee, we can, make the conversion or whatever. I don't
Yeah,
know.
right.
But
Yeah. I think maybe there is services like that, but I haven't really just dived deep into that because it's
Mhm.
just like gray area, that I'm not really sure about. I mean,
Are-
if you are like really big Russian artist, it's
Mhm.
okay. Companies, distributors gonna offer you some ways how you
You'll
can
find
get
a
the
way.
money. It's okay. Yes, but if you're like small DIY artists, it's pretty hard.
So for someone like yourself, like what's a good way, for fans, like maybe somebody sees this video and they want to support you,
Yeah.
they want to help you get your music out, maybe send, some support. Is there a good way for that to happen?
I don't think so. Honestly,
Not at the moment.
the best way to support me is just listen to my music, and if you really like it, just tell your friend or like your significant other. Just listen to my music. That's all. That would be like the perfect support.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That totally
well,
makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah, I'm excited to keep
Yeah.
streaming. That
I was
gives me
gonna
more
say,
reason to stream more Jeff vibes.
Right. I'm already on that. I'm a part of that monthly listener. And congrats on, I believe you had, 1,400 monthly listeners. Is that
Uh,
correct?
Moving it up.
14, 14. I think it's a little too high. I think my maximum was at about like 8 or
Okay, nice.
maybe something like that.
I don't, yeah, it says you got
I don't know.
1,430 monthly
Oh,
listeners.
okay. Sorry. I thought you say
Oh
14,000.
yeah, no.
Oh, no. Yeah, I was
So,
just gonna say, I was like right now, but those are great numbers. You know what I'm saying? For after everything you've just told us about all the setbacks and things like that of what you're working against, like, dude, you're doing great. You know what I'm saying? Like,
thank
a
you,
lot of
thank you,
people would
thank you so
kill to
much.
have even like 100 monthly listeners. So to be at the point where you're really like stepping it up, and that's another reason why we do bring you up so much, is because you are doing all the right shit. Like, it speaks for itself, like we were saying, you know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to say great work on that, because I was checking that yesterday and I was like, that went up from the last time I saw it, like, for sure.
Thank you so much. Also, I want to be transparent about this because I know like a lot of can I don't know, just really important for us, I guess. So
Mhm.
basically, a few days ago, I got one of my songs got placed to like a botted playlist. I haven't done anything to get my song on that. It just happened.
Mhm.
And then I contacted like Spotify support, and so basically the playlist is gone now. But anyway, that's why like that's the reason why my monthly listeners went a little higher than it was, just because
Fair
of
enough.
that.
Hey, I love the transparency and I love
Still,
the.
you were still rocking high numbers
Mhm.
before, so it's not, you know what I'm saying, too much of a big gap
Yeah, I
right
think
there.
it was like before. I think it was maybe 800.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, I thought it was around like like 70 something, like when I checked it.
Yeah,
I love the transparency because like most of the major labels and like big artists and stuff like that, like a lot of their numbers are inflated using bots. So
It's sad to say, but we know
yeah,
people who do it kind of as a way to boost, like, hey, you should buy features from me, you should
Mhm.
support me. All this stuff is like they keep posting this screenshot of their monthly listeners, but it's like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It just doesn't match up. Like the stats don't
yeah,
make sense, you know what I'm saying? So, but for you, it's like they've made sense the whole fucking time. You know what I mean? Like,
what I love about the
yeah,
transparency is that it brings to life like, oh yeah, like those are 800 real people listening to
yeah,
your music.
that's
Like
powerful.
that means a lot more than like 1,400 Spotify accounts.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
whether that's a real person or not. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So,
yeah,
I'd take that
um,
800 any day.
well, and a lot of artists they think that they have to have like hundreds of millions of
Yeah,
fans
for
to
like
like,
validation.
yeah, but
You know
it's
what I'm saying?
what that they don't realize all the time is that, oh wait, no, that's
Yeah, even if there's 20 people listening to you every day, it's like that's crazy to think about. Like
yes,
20 people are in their rooms, they're in their car playing you.
My favorite
that's
analogy is over here. The average plane size is like 168 people. I don't know if it's different over there, but for me, I'm like, hey, if, for anybody who's flown on a plane, would you feel comfortable going up to the beginning of that plane and just singing your song in front of everybody? And a lot of people are like, oh no, that'd be
Yeah,
kind of
they're like,
that'd be
no,
kind of
never.
arrogant.
yes,
But at the
yes,
same time, they're talking bad about, oh, only 500 people are listening to
Yeah,
you.
yes,
And it's like,
exactly.
well, it's like
Yeah, be real.
You know, it's like that's 2.5 times more people than you said you're comfortable with. Like,
Yeah.
come on, you know, like
Nah, for
Exactly.
real.
Like, what are you
For
what are
real,
you
for real,
upset
for real.
about?
so I really appreciate you just that pulling back some of these numbers are real, some of them are, inflated or whatever, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? I think that and sharing too as independent artists how often that happens.
Yeah, it does happen, bro.
And
You trust
yeah,
people with promo and stuff like that, you can get fucked. It's happened to both of
it can
us
be a
like
minefield
multiple
where,
times.
like you said, sometimes you're not even doing
Yeah.
anything. You're just like, hey, how'd that happen? And
Yeah.
other times you
yeah,
think that someone runs a legitimate, promo service, and then, you just get hit with a bunch of robots on
Yeah.
your stuff. And you're like,
I paid an underground rapper for a repost because he was saying, like, back in the day, this was 4 years ago.
on
He said,
Instagram.
yeah, he
I might have
said
been the same dude.
he said guaranteed. He said guaranteed at least 1,000 plays because I'm so big. And then I realized he literally took my money and he used a quarter of
Like
it,
a little fraction of it.
to go buy
yeah,
bots to make it look like the job got done.
Just
I was
got the
like,
rest.
bro, you gotta be
yeah,
fucking kidding me. Like, it's just stuff like that. It's just so stupid. But
yeah,
what are you gonna
100%.
do?
You can just try your best, and like you said, sometimes
Yeah.
that happens. So for me,
Yeah.
I love the transparency that you're like,
Yeah, because it's
something happened here. Like I don't can't
with the
explain
music
it.
game is like you do have to take risks. You know what I mean? At some points, it's like you do have to try to get promotion.
Gotta trust somebody.
Sometimes. Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like,
exactly. Like it happens. You know what I'm saying? So that's to anyone else. It's like don't feel bad, but be honest. You know what
right.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's the real truth. It's like
Well, and
yeah,
I think a lot of people too, they get wrapped up in like pride of their like, oh, I don't want to even admit to myself that I made a bad decision.
well, and then they're like, what if the numbers go away?
It's
Keep
what,
buying it.
and so they like try to validate to themselves. They're like, oh, maybe it was legit. When it's like they really know, what's up. But
Yeah, it's fake.
it's like that. There's
yeah,
that part of them where it's like, oh, I don't want to admit that somebody fooled me. Like I don't want to admit I was I got got.
Real.
And so
yeah,
like you said,
100%. Nah, bro, there is like in this like gray area of Spotify, there is like a lot of like bad things
Yeah,
happen.
it's
So
shady.
and it's really interesting
it's shady.
because
It's really
Yeah.
shady.
both Spotify and the musician makes money through the bots.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's
Yeah,
like Spotify's not really
Yeah, they're
in a
not
rush to
mad.
cancel it, but they're just
yeah,
like you
yeah,
said, when it
yeah.
gets reported, they're like, oh yeah, we'll act on that. But like at the same time, they're making money from it. Like
They're not gonna make it active. Like, oh yeah, track these bots down.
it's just the company's advertising on there that's kind of getting screwed. So
Yeah.
it's a very interesting situation. Like you said, I heard a story about artist who just uses the bots to make money, where he found a way where he's like,
Yeah.
oh, if I can pay $100 and make $1,000. And so he's like, oh, like I don't. He publicly says he's like, my music is like nobody listens to my music, but I make $70K a month on it. Like
Legal trapper.
he says it like he's been on interviews saying it and stuff.
Yeah,
like
he's
that.
on the interview. They're like, so we saw you had like 70,000 monthly listeners. He's like, yeah, I actually have like maybe 3 friends of mine that loved it. Yeah.
He's like, yeah, wait, like again, I love his transparency where he's like,
He's like, I'm a bot
it's
farmer.
all botted. He's like, it's just making me money and nobody.
I'm just
He's
trying to
like, it's
make
not
some
stopping
wad.
me. Yeah, like I'm just like, all right, fair, like if that's your hustle, you know what I'm saying?
You can't even be mad, bro.
No, that's what
You
like
can't even
for me
be
it's like
mad at it.
respect. It's like he's not like claiming to have this
Yeah.
success that he's not having, but he's
I would have
cashing in, bro. Like good for
Yeah,
him.
That's
I would have made the
crazy.
worst
That's
song ever and just
crazy.
kept doing that over and over if I had to, if I needed money.
That's
like,
what he said, bro. He's like, for me, he's like, I'm just gonna.
ha ha
He's like,
da, da,
I
like,
just release as much music as possible and then just run bots to it. He was like, it's just
oh
makes
god.
so again, obviously that's not
crazy.
the game most of us are are playing, right? But
Nah,
for him,
hell no.
if that's his hustle, you know what I'm saying?
Just
Like,
just an interesting
that's
story for
that's the
anybody watching.
that's the system being that's the system at work. So
Yeah.
like again, I just
Yeah.
to bring it back, Jeff. I appreciate your transparency.
Nah, bro, you might have seen this video on YouTube when like the thumbnail sales like this rapper makes like 100K of bots on Spotify.
feel like
I think I've seen that
That's-
thumbnail. I think I've seen that.
I think that's the most popular video about like on this topic. I like
I bet it's the same guy.
I think I've never watched that because I was like,
Yeah, I
what
haven't
the
watched
heck?
that one either. Like you
It's
said,
just
I heard
it's just
mine was on a podcast. That one might have been a podcast too. I only seen the thumbnail, but
maybe it always pops up in my YouTube and I'm like, oh, why? I don't want to watch that.
well, and like you said, for me, I'm like that's great and all, but that's not how. Like I want to learn how to get real people making music.
No, of course.
Or like listening to music rather than like
the bot farm.
yeah, exactly. Like that's cool and all. Like everyone has their
Yeah.
No, bro. By the way, yeah. Continuing with like transparency. When I first started like uploading my music, I didn't know that, but I've bought some like services that got me some botted streams and followers and stuff. I didn't know that. I genuinely just didn't know how to like properly market my music and promote it. I
Like
just
that happens.
because like
It's part of the
yeah,
learning curve.
it just happens. I've tried it, then I realized that I'm never gonna like do that again. And then like as long as I'm going, like I try to like learn and study ways how I can like organically bring some more people to my music and to myself. So yeah, that just happens.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you completely.
For real, bro.
I think that's a learning curve, a journey that a lot of new artists, especially independent artists,
Yeah,
take.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, and a lot of it comes from caring about your music. Like you want to try something to like get it out there or like take a risk, and it just kind of backfires sometimes, you know.
When a lot of those promotion, companies they have the same methods as like scammers, where it's like they kind of
Well, when you're new to the game, you don't even know how like, oh, this is not what
they
it's
make
supposed to look like.
a great promise, but it's an empty promise. It's a hollow promise. It's
exactly.
like you said,
Beautiful
oh,
website.
you can guarantee me 10,000 people to listen to this? Like that sounds like a great deal,
Amazing, yeah.
And then you realize it's like, oh, well, they can make the number go up, but that's not.
It's not. That's
Yeah.
all it's doing.
If you actually show your music to 10,000 people, there's gonna be a different, different.
Like reaction.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
it. Yeah.
It'll be different than just that number rising. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But like you said, it's you read, oh, promote my music, like guaranteed, just all this kind of stuff. You're like, oh, like that makes sense. Like
amazing.
Great, like
Yeah. Like I'm ready to promote my music. Like I'm ready to put some budget into it. I take my music seriously, and then he was like, oh, okay, I got it. Like lesson learned.
Yeah.
No, I love how you are reallocating that budget. You're not just like, oh, I'm not going to invest in my career, but you're like, okay, let me make really cool videos. Let me spin this wheel and let it tell me where I'm gonna fly to and perform my song. Like
yeah, exactly. Let me take it to music reaction live streams and show a bunch of brand new people, all that stuff.
So I love how you didn't let it discourage you, and you didn't let it be like, okay, well, I guess I just am not gonna be able to get my music. Like, no, you're like, okay, these like people who promise they can promote music and guarantee all this and that, that's not how I'm gonna go about promoting my music.
Yeah.
What's a different way? What's a different approach? You know what I'm saying? You kind of went back to the drawing board. Like I said, I love your music is regularly on my mind because you're really good about posting on social media. Yeah. And so it's just like a reminder, and you do a great job of even making it about the music. It's like a lot of people might, post a selfie or, different things on social media, but you do a great job of, hey, let me show you how I made this song, or, I'm going to go perform this song, in public, or, just doing different things where it both reminds me to go, like it just keeps you popping up in my head. It's like, oh yeah, Jeff Vibe music, let me go listen to that. But it also keeps your tune stuck in my head, and so it's like Party's Over gets stuck in my head regularly. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
I applaud you for doing that.
I'm so glad to hear that. And yeah, I just want to like entertain people who follow me, just so they always have something like to watch from me. And now I post a little less on Instagram. I don't know, like if you noticed or not. Oh, you didn't, but I decided.
I've been starving, Jeff.
Yeah, we have.
I know. Instagram is just like whole nother like conversation. But I still post every day on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. But as for Instagram, yeah, I don't post every day because I don't know. Instagram doesn't really give me any like growth, so I still want to entertain people, and that's why I still post, just not as regularly as I posted.
No, I get you for sure. It's like I know on Instagram my good posts will get shown to about, or like my posts with like high engagement, stuff like that, get shown to maybe 50-60% of my my followers. A post that doesn't have as high engagement, isn't doing as well, or performing as well, gets shown to maybe 10% of my followers, sometimes less, maybe 20. Like, so I totally hear what you're saying.
No, that's actually crazy. Only like 10% of your followers, and so the rest 90% is non-followers, right?
A lot of our views come from, like, on reels and stuff like that, come from non-followers. Yeah, it's very interesting, and it's very interesting to me because people click follow, like, I want to know more, like, show me more of what they post. And so I always tell artists, like, if you're going to post on Instagram, don't be afraid to, like, let's say you have a release date, don't be afraid to post morning, afternoon, and night, because you're still probably going to reach maybe 90%. Like, there's still going to be, even if you post 3 times, there's going to be like 10% of your audience that doesn't even see it. Like, they're not even aware that you know been posting and stuff like
I
that.
swear to God,
It's very
you can see it on celebrities too. Look at their followers versus their average likes. Like you see like people like Kim Kardashian where she has like what 100 million, but then she normally only gets like 25 million to like 30 million ish likes just per post average. But she's got 100 million followers. So how is everybody not seeing this, right? Like, but she's popping still.
Instagram obviously shows her posts to a lot of people who aren't following her. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's like
exactly. She's on the explore page, all that stuff.
and so it's like those are gonna add up and it's part of the likes too. So
Yeah,
it's
like on top of that, and just people constantly posting her because she's like one of the fucking biggest celebrities in the whole world. Like, but that was just like a little example, but just like you can look at all your favorite celebrities, like just look at the likes on their just selfies or normal pictures versus their followers, and you'll see how much is really getting shown. Because you know, like moms and shit like that, like teenage girls, they're gonna be on that shit waiting for Kim Kardashian to post. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the fact that she's not pulling in like even half of what she's following is like insane to me. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, more people like her than this. I know that. Like, it's just the amount Instagram was willing to show them.
That's really interesting that like your reels specifically get shown to like a lot of non-followers, because I've been struggling with it like heavily, because all of my reels, 90% of the people is my followers and only 10 non-followers. That's why my account like doesn't grow. And it's pretty I don't know, I've been trying to like
do you use
find a
hashtags?
way.
Pre-engaging.
Yeah, I do. I don't know why, but it's just, I don't know. I think people who follow me don't want to watch a video from me like every day. They want to watch like sometime, but not every day. Because the reason why I was posting every day, because I want to my reels get to people who doesn't follow me, right? Like just to grow. But Instagram just doesn't. I don't know. It's just not happening for me. So yeah, it's just really interesting that you brought it up.
You don't have to do this by any means, but something that can help, you know, spark some of that. About 30 minutes before you post, and maybe, you know, up until like 30 minutes after you post, search, like for you a good one might be like R&B, or just find, you know, upcoming R&B artists, people who, you know, are similar to you, and go to their posts and then look at the people who commented on it, and they're gonna probably say like, oh, fire, or you know, something like that. You can go to their profile, check out their posts, and leave an like a comment on them, something that's you know kind of meaningful, and they're likely to, oh, who's this person? Because and as artists, entertainers, sometimes we can get desensitized to somebody new commenting on our posts. But for, you know, people who are outside of the, you know, outside of the public scope, you know, kind of just living their own life.
Yeah, for new, it's like different.
Somebody comes and comments something like, oh, this is a really beautiful scenery, or you know, like you look great in that dress, or you know, whatever it might be. It's just like, oh, like let me check this out, like who is this, like I'm curious about this person, and then they might, you know, look in, oh, this person makes music, let me see what they make, check out your new post.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like a cheat code almost to find your target audience, because it's like, hey, this guy's music sounds like mine. He has 500 comments. Okay, at least 500 people are willing to comment on this shit even. Like, why don't I go reach out to these people specifically? You know what I'm saying? Just to, like, because I don't know, we've used that kind of tactic before when just marketing, strategizing, trying to get engagement on the account. Like, even with Genius Playhouse, our media page, I'll go on there and like I'll look at random music on there, and if it's actually like fire, like I'll comment there's like fire emoji or like something personal to the song, like damn, like I was not expecting this beat drop or something like that. Like, but it just, if you do it genuinely, like people know that, you know what I'm saying? It translates if you do it genuinely, and they'll like actually follow you and stuff like that. It's crazy. Like, and it's out of me just like, oh, I like this song, I'm gonna comment a fire emoji. Like,
if it's like disingenuous or phony, like you said, people will follow them.
Like if you just comment, say someone like is like, oh yeah, like I just, or like say something like it's them with their girlfriend, something like that, but they are a rapper, and you just comment on the post of them and their girlfriend, like fire emoji, they're gonna know you're either like weird or you're like trying to get clicks.
You're like not really
like they will catch on to that stuff. So it's like no point to do it like just like disingenuine. You know what I'm saying? But it truly does work. You know what I'm saying? For anybody watching this, it's like, I'm telling you, it's a W. Like you like if you steal this shit, it works.
Well,
like,
and what I like about it is it trains Instagram's algorithm who to show your stuff to, because the people who also engage with that type of music are now coming to your profile and checking you out. And so Instagram's algorithm says, oh, this type of person must be interested in them. Let me show him to more
People like that.
people like this person.
Mhm.
That makes sense. I was doing something kind of like similar when I was focusing more on like music production, because I
Mhm.
started as a music producer and then just switched to music
I was
artist.
gonna
But
ask, do you,
Yeah,
yeah,
I've seen your old beat
do you
page.
still make beats?
I've seen your old page,
I,
your website.
so I started as a music producer and I still do make beats. I make beats for myself, for my music, for my songs. I still have catalog available on BeatStars, but I haven't uploaded like a single beat, maybe I don't know, last beat maybe like I don't know, maybe a few months ago, something like that.
So you're
But
pretty
it's still available
focused
if you
on
if somebody need beats, it's still available. You can check that out.
Jeff Vibes Music on BeatStars?
Yeah, I believe it's just Jeff Vibes.
Jeff Vibes, awesome.
I forgot to ask this at the beginning of the interview, but I like to ask artists, like, with your name, where does Jeff Vibes come from? Because, like, obviously, Jeff, your name, you know what I'm saying? But what is, like, the vibes part? Like, what does that mean to you? Or what is, like, the full, like, meaning? Or is it just fun? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's also an interesting question. Also, Jeff is my like not real name.
Okay.
Obviously,
Ah,
because
surprise.
it's. I mean, in Russia, we don't have names like Jeff.
Yeah, I should have known that, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know why. It's like I trust that it was Jeff. I don't know why. I was like, this guy's name is Jeff, and he was born Jeff.
You picked a good name because you kind of look like a Jeff.
You
Like,
do. You do.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's I now I can't see it any differently. I'm like, wow.
No,
no, that
it's
just
no,
kind of blew
it's
my
so good.
mind. But like you said,
It's
like
so
it
good.
shouldn't
Glad
have
I
blown my
asked.
mind. I should have thought about like, oh, Jeff's not really a Russian name, you know. But that's awesome.
No,
That's
it's
true.
all good. It's all good. I'm completely okay with Jeff. I love it. So basically, yeah, Jeff came from. I was thinking about, so when I was starting my music production thing in 2019, I was thinking about, okay, I'm gonna my target audience is definitely United States. So no, one of them, I mean like English language speakers, right? So it's like Canada, United Kingdom, United States. Okay, what's like one of the most common name? So when people can hear it, it's like it's really easy for them to remember, and just it's like they're used to it, you know.
Mhm.
So I decided Jeff because my favorite artist of all time, Young Thug, and his real name Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
Yeah,
That's so
so
crazy that you be bumping like compared to your music, like what you make versus your taste. That is
yes,
crazy. I
it's
love
really
that.
different.
That's awesome, buddy.
So yeah, I decided Jeff, and the vibe thing. I don't really have like a full answer on this because I've been just always into this. I don't know. I just think my music and even my beats give people, you know, the vibe. I mean, my music is not like hard. My music is not like epic, you know, something like that. It's just a vibe. It's just something that you can play and just you're gonna vibe with that. So I don't know. Just both like these two things just came together.
Like each
Yeah,
song you do like
I
have a specific vibe and like it's placed out with specific topic. It's like Jeff's vibes, Jeff's catalog of vibes. You know what I mean? Like that's the way I see it.
I was really focused. And my goal was to make something up that would be really easy to remember. That's like the
Yeah.
most, I think, important thing about your name, because I personally don't like names that like I can read easily for the like first time I see it. If I can read it, I'm like, you know, if I like have to read it another one time and just understand like what's the name, I think it's not really good for you in the terms of like marketing, or maybe I don't know. It's just my like personal opinion. I don't.
It doesn't stick in the
I
head.
don't.
I hear you for sure.
Yeah. So it's just my thing. I mean, there's a lot of artists like doing any kind of like stuff with their name, and that's completely okay. I just don't really like it for myself. So
No, I think that's a great idea too.
I love that like you came up with that name. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it feels so natural. It feels like it's just like, oh, like a guy named Jeff made, you know, like, oh, Jeff Vibes, you know, like,
Yeah, it does
but
roll off the
it
tongue.
like it works so well, and hearing that was your intention behind the idea just makes it all the more perfect.
Yeah,
So
right. Yeah.
great.
yeah, thank
I
you,
love
thank
that.
you,
Awesome.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys.
I know it's getting a little late over there, so we don't want to hold you too late, but
Yeah.
question-
Okay.
a question I've been asking a few of the artists in the community. For anyone who doesn't know, we know Jeff Vibes through our creative community called Genius Playhouse. We met him through he shared some music at one of our music reaction streams, and JMCL and I just instantly became fans, and we've been able to talk a little bit more, get to know each other. And one question I have for you is, and this is a weird question, so if you need a second, don't be afraid to think.
Okay. Okay.
If your music was an ice cream flavor, what flavor would it be?
Okay. I would say it really depends on the song, but in general, I think for some reasons I don't have the explanation for this, but for some reasons I want to say like an orange type of stuff, like orange with mixed with something.
Almost
like
almost
an orange sherbet.
Yeah, like orange sherbet.
Yeah, something like that. I don't have the explanation. I don't know. But what came to my mind. I know my music not really like bright. I don't know, not always bright at least. But I want to say orange.
I love it. That's awesome.
All right. It feels right. I can sense that too. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel that.
Maybe I'm speaking from like my more of a like upcoming songs, because most of my like upcoming music is gonna be like a little more bright and just lighted. Is it the word, right? Yeah. I think it's gonna be like less darker.
Just have that more like kind of like fun feeling.
Not fun, just make you feel good some type of way.
See.
Very light. Yeah, light. I think lighthearted was the best.
Yeah, no, I think that is the best.
Yeah. I think so. Not all songs, but more than I have now.
And you said you're gonna be dropping songs pretty frequently. What do you have planned up for? What's your release schedule looking like for coming up?
Yeah, anything big coming up?
So my next single, I believe, because I'm switching to another distributor now. It's called Ditto Music.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And I'm switching to them right now because there might be a way how I can get my money off the streaming. That's the reason.
Oh, that'd be great.
And my next single is so basically the release date is February 2nd. So it's next Friday.
Yeah, that's coming up here pretty soon.
Ooh, coming up soon.
Yeah.
Yes, it's gonna be a little like. It's gonna be a little fun, just put you in a good mood. I've put it on my story. I think you might have seen this one. So yeah, and after that, I'm gonna drop a song every 2 weeks.
Awesome.
So, yeah, you did say that earlier. Yeah,
a new song every 2 weeks from Jeff Vibes. Is that mostly Fridays or just throughout the week?
I believe 90% is Friday.
Mostly Fridays. All right, y'all.
Fridays are a good day. It's like you're already looking forward to it, and then you got to look forward to Jeff.
Right, every 2 weeks you got music from Jeff. This is gonna be a good year.
Yeah, I'm very excited, of course.
Nah, we're here to support it for real, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're saying, we're not just saying it just to gas you up, anything like that. But truly, like, we do think you're talented and we like your music, man. Like, we want you to keep going. So, especially, it's like, well, we appreciate you coming doing this interview. You know what I'm saying? We thought this would be a fun convo, and it's been great so far, man. So, again, much love.
No, it's been really great. And also, the reason why I'm, like, stuck with you since I first came to your stream is just the whole atmosphere, just the whole vibe is so supportive. Even if you don't like something about the song, you find a way like how to properly tell this to the artist, because you're just not a like what's the word, ignorant, is it a word, right?
Yeah
Just like in proper way, the artist won't get like affected or something.
No, yeah. No,
I mean yeah, you just genuinely give some great feedback, and you just support that people try to make something happen in their life with their music and with their like music career maybe. And you just really respect that, you just respect that people trying to do something, just really supportive, the vibe over there. So that's why I came to your streams like every Friday, or at least try to.
Dude, we appreciate that, especially the time difference too. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Like, I know it's not even starting for you until like what, maybe like 1, 2 in the morning.
That's probably like 6 in the morning for
6
him.
in the morning. Yeah.
It's about
like 2 a.m. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. We appreciate you.
Yeah, for real. Like, we appreciate that time and dedication. Like, for real. Like, it doesn't go unnoticed, especially when we hear we're like, yeah, we're in other countries. Like, and y'all like up late or up early for us. Like, we appreciate. Like, it does mean a lot. You know what I mean? Like, more than you guys know. So, thank you.
No, keep going what you're doing, guys. For sure.
No, we will, bro. We will. Same way you better too.
Say, we appreciate you, Jeff, and like right back at you.
Thank you.
I did have one last final question for you, Jeff. This was the last one I had wrote down. This is more just like curious, just more like kind of see you as a person. But if you had like the whole entire world's attention for like one sentence, like, or one message, what would you say? Like, just pretend the whole world is watching you. You have like 10 seconds to say
Oh,
something. Like, what do you say? You know what I'm saying? As Jeff Vibes, or as you, just as a person, like, what would you do?
I would say everything is gonna be fine. I guess that's all. I don't know, this quote, it's been in my head like since I was like a kid. I don't know why. I don't know where did I get that from, but yeah, I don't know. Just always in my head like everything is gonna be fine. Whatever happens, everything is gonna be fine.
I love that. That's
Yeah,
awesome, and
and
it's so true.
people do need to hear that. I think one of the biggest things that affects probably most people in the world is worry. You know what I mean? Like,
Anxiety's
Yeah.
a big thing right now.
yeah, it affects pretty much everyone, even if it's in a little way or a big way, even if
Mhm.
you're super wealthy and doing great for yourself, or even if you've got everything to worry about. Like, it's there regardless who you are. Even if you're up top, you're worried about this and this and this and this and this. Like, sometimes you're even more worried just because of how much you're putting. Like, it doesn't matter. It just seems like everybody's stressed out. So it's nice to
Yeah.
hear that, Jeff. You know?
Yeah, I'm just learning that, especially with these things that are like happening right now in with my country specifically. You just learn that life just continue. It's just still going, and everything's gonna be fine. You just continue to live, every day, and I know just everything happened, but everything's gonna be fine.
Thank you so much, Jeff. We really appreciate you for being here.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. It was about like an hour, right? But it felt so quick, like.
Right?
Yeah, it went by.
I felt the same way. It was just such a natural conversation. It was great to be able to hop on here and talk with you.
And meet you kind of for real. Like, I feel like that was like really our
Yeah.
first time meeting as well. So nice to meet you as well, Jeff. You know what I mean? From like
Yeah,
person to
yeah,
person.
yeah.
No, most definitely.
Nice to meet you guys. It was a great conversation. Thank you for having me again.
Hey, well, Jeff, we hope to continue to see you at more stuff in the community. Y'all, if you want to connect with Jeff, make sure you guys get in the community. You check out his socials. They're gonna be linked down below.
Everything linked.
Yeah, thank you.
Be on the lookout, man. New Jeff Vibes every Friday.
Every 2 weeks.
Every other Friday, every 2 weeks. On Friday.
Yes. Every 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.